You know, I'm something of a scientist myself.
Sidewalk pass rule! Hey! Stop the bus!
So today we decided to do a little spill about Spider-Man No Way Home. If you watch the movie, there I go. Anyway, we're gonna get into a little discussion about it. Since you're here, if you like Marvel and you like Spider-Man, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, give it a like, and hit the notification bell to be updated for new videos that come out just like this. But without further ado, we're gonna get right into this. And
pizza time.
first off, what I liked, disliked about kind of the story. The story I liked for the most part towards the end. In the beginning, it was kind of slow, and I didn't kind of get it at first because I do get it, but they were trying to be funny, but it was kind of a little, you know, too much for me, I guess, because he went to go and talk to Doctor Strange about school, and he didn't even ask the question about, you know, talking to the MIT teacher.
Yeah.
And he was like, you didn't think to talk to them before you come to me to change, you know, your verdict of you getting accepted into the MIT program.
And honestly, that's been one of the reasons why I haven't been a huge fan, and probably more for nostalgia's sake, but probably not.
Yeah.
I haven't been a huge fan of the Tom Holland Spider-Man because it seems like everything's been handed to him, and even in this instance, he just goes straight to the power source.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of like,
Yeah.
to me, it was kind of expected, but it was kind of annoying to me. And I think the whole movie kind of gives him a new growth.
Yeah.
That we haven't seen before, a new origin story, as you might say.
Oh yeah, I think that's the part that I do like. Towards the end where he actually goes through literally what every other Spider-Man went through, and dude, oh man, I was so happy when I saw Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. That was the dopest thing. Tobey Maguire especially, because that's throwback. As y'all know,
that's our guy.
That's our guy. I mean, pizza time. You know, I just said it earlier.
There were so many references in that movie to the older Spider-Mans. Now, here's the thing. I don't remember that many from the Amazing Spider-Man. I caught a few, and honestly, the crowd, we must have been with the young crowd.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't catch a lot of them. I was laughing at my back. And nobody else was laughing. It was just us laughing.
Yeah.
Everybody else was like quiet. There's a few from the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Well, there's a lot of them actually. But yeah, I thought all the references that I caught were hilarious.
A lot of Easter eggs, like the one where they're just pointing
at each other.
Yeah, pointing at each other, like this one, this one.
And then I'm somewhat of a scientist myself.
Yeah, exactly.
That one cracked me up.
Amazing Spider. Yeah,
man.
that was there was a lot, and there was the one where he's like my back. He was like, trying to, that was.
Yeah.
Woo, there was a lot of good.
And I'm not gonna lie, when they came in for the not the Uncle Ben, the Aunt May part, and they were all talking about, you know, we've lost someone too, and Tom Holland's like, you don't know. I'm like, yeah, they do, right?
Actually,
and then they all kind of like get together about that and all hear the same line. Now, this is kind of where there's a few things in there where I feel like on key points, I wasn't really feeling that. So like, I felt all the way up to there until kind of when like Tobey Maguire's line was, you know, maybe this happened for a reason. I'm like, I don't know. That's not something I would ever tell someone who's mourning. Like, this happened for a reason, so you could understand what great power comes great responsibility. Yeah. And there was other times in there where I wasn't really feeling the lines, but
dude. Well, I'll say this. I kind of felt the way you felt, but the redeeming factor for me was the ending. Towards the end, where they were talking about before how he needs to control himself to make sure they were trying to make sure he didn't make the same mistake that they did. Yeah. And he gets so mad at, I think it was the glider.
Yeah, Green Goblin.
Green Goblin. And he was just wailing on him, boom, 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 left and right. And he was like literally gonna like kill this dude. And then Tobey Maguire like stops him. And he was like, don't do it. Like, don't be like us. Don't do that. And then I thought they were gonna kill off Tobey Maguire. Even though I know that he's not like acting anymore. Yeah. Like still, like I was like, bro, you can't. Don't do that to me.
And he's like, I've been stabbed before. That was another cool thing to see for this. You got to see not only this new Peter Parker and Spider-Man kind of redeem himself. We also got to see the other ones kind of redeem themselves. Like in the trailer, I know they didn't show that the other Spider-Mans were there, but you got to see Andrew Garfield catch MJ, which made up for him losing. I wanted to say her real name, Emma Stone, Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, Gwen.
Gwen, and then with Spider-Man, instead of the glider, him dodging it and jumping in, and then the glider hitting Green Goblin, he stopped the glider from killing Green Goblin. And at first, my initial reaction to the Tom Holland Peter Parker wailing, like you said, on the Green Goblin, getting ready to stab him, I was like, come on, we just went through this. They're like, the other Spider-Man were like, no, we don't want you to become that. We want you to be better than us.
Yeah.
But then again, like what the whole movie, you were to see that he was a kid, just growing up, and now he's alone. So I can't. At first, I was mad. And I'm like, you know what? If I was his age in the show and that was happening to me, I don't know what I would have done.
True.
That could have been the exact same thing. So he needed to get. He probably was gonna get to that breaking point, anyways. Yeah, everything flooded back, and it was like less than 24 hours since it happened. So I had some initial critiques afterwards, and I think I will have less critiques after I rewatched it again because I probably missed some stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm sure the same goes here too. I will say this: there was also a scene towards the end where I was thinking, like before he made the transition of making everyone forget Doctor Strange. I thought it was a little childish, the fact that just because he wanted to go to MIT, the whole universe were about to get like manipulated. Like they said that there were the beings that were becoming, I guess, coming into that realm. He was like, I can't stop him. I was like, I was like, dude, this. I don't know. My thoughts in my head was like, this is so dumb, that the fact that because of him trying to get into MIT, all this happened. I'm like, dude. So I couldn't help but think, Tom Holland messed up again. Yeah. He does it again.
And I think he did really care more for his friends to get into there than he did for himself.
Yeah.
But like you were saying, it was kind of weird. And then when they all started coming in, and then they kind of made everybody forget about Peter Parker. I'm thinking like, does the Aunt Mays and the MJs in the other universes forget about those Peter Parkers?
Yeah. Yeah. How far does that travel? Yeah. But all in all, like, I mean, I personally would rate this movie an 8. I think it's totally because, I mean, I do like Tom Holland's, performance. I mean, amazing. Him, Zendaya, and the other guy, I forgot his name.
Ned
Declassified.
Ned. he had the
the
started
power.
Getting the Dr. Stone ability.
Hey, he might be coming to there in New York.
Yeah. So even though Peter Parker and he doesn't know Peter Parker anymore, he might still end up meeting Peter Parker and then becoming friends because he might join Doctor Strange.
Maybe. But I think I give it an 8 because not necessarily because of Tom Holland, but because also the other Spider-Mans. I think I'm just gonna say it. To me, they're like the redeeming factors because that. I don't know, that nostalgia hit. It hit.
It did really hit. I teared up a few times actually.
Tobey Maguire, and I was like, bro, I was so happy to see you, bro. I'm like, that was my guy.
I'm glad they addressed the thing too about the web thing. Yeah. Both of them have to make cartridges, and it just comes out of him like that. That's funny.
Because that's how you know it's classy, bro. Yeah. He's from the Gap, bro. He's from the Gap. But again, personally, I give it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was really, really good.
I've gone back and forth on this, and I'm gonna settle at a 7.6. It might be higher after I rewatch it eventually.
That's really
and it might
specific.
be lower. 7.6. It's like one bite, everybody knows the rules. One watch, everybody knows the rules. A round number, amateur rating.
Are you serious?
Another thing is, I don't know if we mentioned this before, the Daredevil.
Reference.
That was hilarious.
That was so unexpected.
He just catches that break and goes, I'm a great lawyer.
Yeah. Dude, I forgot he's part of Marvel, but that makes sense.
And it dropped the perfect time because like it kind of lines up with what we saw. Oh, actually, I can't put that in there. Oh, no. And it dropped at the perfect time. And if you know, you know.
Oh, yeah. You know. And at the end of the episode, we see 2 more scenes, but we see the first one where it's showing, I think, Venom, actually. A little Venom spoiler. He disappears too, but a little remnants of him is left behind. So
somehow it's gonna work its way from Mexico all the way to New York.
Very interesting. Yeah, that's gonna. I don't know what's gonna happen with Spider-Man now.
Now, what would you do?
They're gonna meet.
What would you do if that gets on Peter and he starts dancing down the street? Someone made a hilarious video where they were going to the Spider-Man movie, and as they were going, they were dancing like Peter Parker, and then when they went in the movie, then they came out of the movie, and then they had the suit on.
Oh.
And then just started dancing again. That had me laughing because I watched that literally right after I got out of the theater. I was watching that one.
The big one for me was Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch, aka, I mean, if y'all watch WandaVision,
You know about that.
you know, y'all know about what happens.
And the X-Men.
In X-Men. Well, yeah, X-Men.
Well, because she's in the X-Men.
That's
yeah.
true.
So yeah, I'm really excited to see about that because I'm wondering. I've heard after watching videos in the WandaVision, are her kids gonna come in from another dimension?
Yeah.
Are we going to see somehow Quicksilver come back?
Yeah.
Like what's going on? I don't know.
Yeah, that's gonna, dude, this brings like a whole bunch of possibilities, but now, like, we see in these scenes,
Mm-hmm.
with Doctor Strange, that there's another one because he messed up. I guess somehow with helping Tom Holland correct his mistake, he created an even bigger one, which actually created himself. But it makes sense.
Yeah.
Why? Because he's making people forget. I don't know. And somehow, in turn, he makes another him. That's
Or brings him over from another dimension.
brings him to another dimension.
Which
or maybe opens a dimension to where he.
You know what I wonder? If you watched WandaVision and you watched Loki, there's a specific scene that they actually happen at the same time. And it has to do with what's kind of similar to what's happening now. I wonder if this one lines up with those.
Yeah.
And if they just so happen to all happen at the same time, which would be pretty cool because then,
Yeah.
I mean, it really is chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow Doctor Strange knows about Wanda's little ordeal, but he goes and talks to her and says, I'm not talking to you about this. He already knows about it.
Yeah.
So I'm talking something even grander.
Yeah. I don't know how anybody else feels about this, but growing up with the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and watching the cartoons, it seemed like Peter Parker always had a hard life. And this current this current Spider-Man seemed to have it pretty easy with getting stuff from Stark, and obviously he was smart, but the other ones were smart too.
Yeah.
But it was, for me, I like the fact that he was going to be kind of like on his own now, and it kind of seemed like it was just the start.
Yeah.
Like a fresh start of the next trilogy, yes, but it kind of seemed like more Peter Parker that I'm used to, and the Spider-Man that I'm used to. So I'm excited to see what kind of character growth we'll see going forward.
Yeah. At least I believe the Avengers are kind of done. So, like, I know they still exist, but they're kind of like, as far as it becoming actual movie again, I'm thinking it's pretty much done. But I'm wondering.
I don't actually know.
You don't know?
I think they did announce some new Avengers.
I'm curious to see now. Everyone has forgotten about him, right? So
Yeah,
I'm wondering.
yeah.
I'm wondering. Does this? You have to assume it has to be also the people who were a part of Avengers too.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder how that's all going to play around. Are they going to?
Well, they forgot about Peter Parker. They would still know Spider-Man.
Oh, so they don't know.
Happy said the same thing at the end. They're like, they were all standing there next to Aunt May, and he's like, "How did you know her?" And he's like, Peter Parker said, "Through Spider-Man." He's like, "Me too."
Okay.
So they remember the Spider-Man part, but they don't remember Peter Parker.
Help me!
So they would forget memories with him,
But they would know.
or would they forget the whole thing because they know he's Peter? No, because they know of Spider-Man. Happy remembered Spider-Man.
Wait, but the Avengers would know Peter Parker, right?
The Avengers wouldn't remember Peter Parker, but would they remember?
But didn't he reveal himself as Peter Parker? Don't they know he's Peter Parker?
Well, no, but it was erased now.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. They won't know him.
Well, I was thinking they wouldn't know him, but they would know Spider-Man. But then I started. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't know. I got confused myself.
Okay.
I daggone confused myself.
I don't know.
It's weird to think of how that memory might work. Like, would they remember every single interaction they had with him, but just remember it as Spider-Man instead of Peter Parker?
Yeah.
Since you know
that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Or is it gonna be they're only gonna remember him in his suit?
Yeah.
And that's gonna be a weird situation.
So that's what I'm curious to see how that's gonna play out, because I'm assuming he's gonna be playing Spider-Man for a little longer. So
Oh, yeah, 3 more movies at least,
yeah. So
or 3 more Spider-Man standalone movies.
unless they throw in Miles Morales.
Hey, Jamie Foxx said it. He's like, man, I thought you were gonna be a black Spider-Man.
Yeah.
that had the whole crowd laughing.
Hey, it's coming to a theater near us,
There you go.
next year, 2022. So Yeah, a lot to look forward to though with like the series. You know, I know the new, I guess, generation of, you know, Marvel, you know, actors and stuff are coming along. So I'm just looking forward how they're gonna develop maybe a new Avengers or something like that. So, you know, there's a lot to look forward to. I think there's a lot of potential in that sense. Thank y'all for watching and supporting our channel. Don't forget to check out our social media accounts. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Let us know what you think about this movie review.
You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and Rumble. You can also follow our friends on YouTube, Jay Frizzle, Clammy, and Blockson for gaming, Rich Aladdin for short films, or Text Away for sermons, and Thought You Should Know podcast that discusses all things mental health.
With that said, I'm Devin.
I'm Noah.
And see y'all next time. Peace.